Hey there, I'm Barnaby and I'm a guitar maker and repairer living here in Tokyo. And one of the best things about being here is that sometimes you get a chance to get hold of some really odd stuff, some really weird things. And anyone who actually watches my channel, that's both of you I'm talking to right now, has probably seen this guitar. This is the famous Casio EG-5. It's a kind of electronic guitar, which is halfway between a keyboard and a guitar. But Casio had several other attempts at making electric guitars, and I've just had the opportunity to pick one up. And in fact, the bag has just been delivered. It was wrapped in bubble wrap, but I haven't opened it yet. And this is what I was sent. And inside here, if I'm lucky, should be something called the Casio EG-5. I assume that means Electric Guitar 5. And it's got a couple of odd features, but there's one feature in particular that I think makes it really cool. So, let's open it up and see what we've got. Here we are, guitar neck, and here it is. Look at that. Now, it's got a normal guitar neck, it's got normal strings, it's even in tune, which is amazing. It's got a metal bridge, it's got a single humbucker, it's got volume and other things. It's got a speaker here, so it's got a kind of integral playing system. And then you might notice something else. That's right, it's got a cassette player, an integral cassette player. Now, the EG-5 is one of a line of guitars that was produced in the 1980s when cassette was, of course, king. And so the idea with this guitar is you could put in your cassette, you could then jam along with it, you can record it, you can do all sorts of things. And so I don't know how well this thing works. I don't know even if it does work. Let's have a look. I think it takes C batteries, and I don't have any at the moment, but I wouldn't want to put them in anyway because the inside of the cover has this decaying foam there, and I would be a bit worried. I want to replace that before I start messing around with batteries. Okay, what else do we have? So this is the cassette player. We've got the standard controls, record, play, rewind, fast forward, stop, eject, and pause. This is our speaker. We've got a distortion button here, a drive here, guitar mix. I presume this is for the mix between the cassette and the guitar, main volume, and a mystery knob. We'll find out what that does. On the outputs here, we've got, what have we got here? Tape pitch. Tape pitch, that'll be fun to mess around with. We've got an on-off switch, DC 9-volt input, guitar out, phones, and a line in. So there's all sorts of things that I think you can potentially do with this guitar. And I have seen them listed on Reverb for quite a lot of money, so there seems to be a bit of a collector's market for them. Well, let's find out what this one is like. So, here it is. And first impressions, the strings are old, they'll obviously need to be changed. The frets are a bit crusty, but again, you'd expect all that sort of stuff. I mean, probably hasn't had anything done to it since the Reagan years. The action's a bit high. Either I can adjust that with the truss rod and the bridge, or if worst comes to the worst, I'll just put a tiny bit of shimming in the neck pocket here. It's got fairly low action at the first fret, which is a really good sign, so it's been set up properly. The tuners seem to work okay, intonation needs some work, but the neck is cool. It's a one-piece maple neck with a walnut skunk stripe, just like your favorite Fender guitars. And if I play it acoustically, it sounds, well, cheap and awful. It sounds like halfway between a resonator and an electric guitar, but not really with the good qualities of either. But then again, who would buy this guitar for its acoustic properties? I doubt anyone would. What you're really buying it for is, you know, the speaker, the cassette player, the pickup. So, to that end, let's see how it goes. Now, it takes 6 C cells, but I don't have 6 C cells at the moment. So I've plugged in a 9-volt adapter, and let's just see if we can get some sound. Oh, want to do that? There we go. The light comes on, and what do we got here? Ha! There we go. Okay, so this is our main volume. This is the guitar mix, which obviously controls how much of the guitar goes against the cassette. And then this is something called drive. Okay, let's push this and see what it does. Oh, wow. Wow. Ha, cool. And if I push it up, whoa. Ha! I can get my Ingve on. Excellent. So that's the drive. I think we'll leave that off for now. And of course this last switch here, that must be a volume control for this speaker alone. Okay, well, let's see what we can do with cassettes. So I went to my local record shop just the other day, and I thought, what have they got? And I managed to find for $2 a copy of the B-52's Cosmic Thing. So let's put it in here and see if it works. Now, I'm not going to be able to play too much of this because I imagine that there'd be a copyright strike against me from YouTube. But I'll just start it up and see if we can get it to work. Okay, so eject must be there. Let's put it in here and let's see what happens. Play. Wow. Well, it definitely works. In fact, it sounds pretty good. I'm amazed. Okay. After all this time, you just never know whether a tape player is going to work, whether the belts are going to be stretched or what's going on. So something else I got from my local record shop yesterday when I was hunting down the B-52s was a blank cassette tape. And let's see if this will work. Let's open this up. Where was that open switch again? Must be here. Okay, put this in again. Oh, that's the kind of familiar feeling from my childhood. And let's just run the tape on. Let's see how we go. Okay, I can see through the window. I'm waiting for the tape to wind on to the reel. Ah, there we go. Let's try it now. Slightly out of tune blues. Okay, now let's rewind that. Back it goes. And let's try it with a little bit of drive. Oh, it's got an automatic stop on the player, which is something good. Okay, let's start it up and see how we go. Ooh, yeah, sounds like we've got a sound. Is it going to work? Does it record? Oh. Wow. Wow, that is too much fun. Now if we rewind it again, let's try playing around a bit with the controls and see what happens. Can I speed up the tape or slow it down? So, here we go. There's a little wheel there. I seem to remember. Wait till it starts playing. Wow! Wow, okay, so what that did was actually took the pitch down to D, which was weird. Okay, and then if we bring it back up, I presume the pitch goes back up again. So that's a really cool little feature, not something I would have expected to have found on something like this. But all in all, it's a really cool little guitar. So what I'm going to do with this thing is I'm going to take it to the workshop. I'm going to set up the action, clean up the frets. I'm going to clean up the electronics a bit inside. I'm going to mess around with it, and I might try making a more extensive tape to put into it, which I may record from another source and then or create in another source, and then kind of, you know, try jamming along with that. But that'll be a second video. For today, this is it. The Casio EG-5, probably the weirdest guitar in my collection.